Pastor Iyamu, who in 2016 was by far the more popular candidate in the state governorship election, came whiskers close to emerging governor of Edo State, is believed to have won the majority vote, but was ultimately undone by the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) machinery controlled by then outgoing governor, now national chairman of the party, Comrade Adams Oshomole, who managed to ensure that his candidate, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, emerged winner. But in politics, there are no permanent foes and no permanent friends. 4 years on, the same Iyamu and Oshomole have become political allies, with the latter determined to use the former to oust Obaseki. Is now bitter political advisory from power. And with the primary election of the ruling party weeks away on June 22nd, it is looking increasingly likely that Iyamu, who defected to the ruling party from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) last year, would emerge candidate. A widely popular political figure in the state with boots on the ground, Iyamu, a former chief of staff and secretary to the Edo state government under Chief Lucky Benedion, continues to be on ascendancy, backed by Oshomole, who had indeed approached him to join the APC last year and has been alleged by former Lagos State Governor and national leader of the ruling party, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Some backgrounds. Upon leaving office in 2016, Oshomole backed the hitherto little-known finance expert Obaseki, who headed his economic team from 2009 to succeed him. But it was a choice that didn't particularly sit well with the various party bigwigs in the state, who did not trust Obaseki to play proper politics. In all his time as chairman of Edo Economic and Strategy Team, Obaseki had shunned party activities and paid attention strictly to his job. Thus, when Oshomole muted him as his successor, other chieftains of the party were said to have kicked, but Oshomole determined to ensure that the man who particularly handled the state economy under him became his successor, convinced the skeptical party men to back the Afrivest founder, assuring them that once he became governor, he would take care of their interests. With Oshomole's assurances, therefore, the party men and various political heavyweights deployed financial and other resources to ensure that Obaseki became governor, hoping that they would recoup their investment afterwards. Under Oshomole, palms of party stakeholders were said to have been frequently greased, with interest taken care of via contract awards. The stakeholders expected the practice to continue with Obaseki. However, upon coming to power, Obaseki opted to deploy global best practices in governance. He put a stop to the practice of settling party leaders, insisting that he had only come to serve Edo people and not to feed greedy politicians in the state. He awarded contracts directly to contractors and ended the practice of using thugs to collect levies in markets. The move immediately won him enemies. The party leaders and sundry individuals who benefited from the status quo felt betrayed and vowed to ensure it doesn't go beyond 4 years. As the election of 2020 neared, they upped their game. While the state under the governor has continued to witness unparalleled infrastructural developments. Even with lower revenue, the interest his policies affected have ensured his future is more than ever uncertain. And while himself and Oshomole had for a long while pretended to be at peace in spite of the vicious opposition he faced in the hands of the former governor's loyalists, both men eventually collided following Obaseki's nocturnal inauguration of the State House of Assembly last year. In bid to ensure that his loyalists took control of the House to forestall possible impeachment, Oshomole demanded the reversal. Obaseki persisted and an open confrontation was birthed. The confrontation has since continued, defying all efforts by various individuals, including the late former chief of staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Abba Kyari, to reconcile them, and ahead of the primary election next month, in preparation for the main governorship election billed for September 19th, the last battle line has been drawn. While the battle between Oshomole and Obaseki raged, the latter was increasingly attracting sympathy, mostly from the people of Bini in Edo South Senatorial District, who make up about 60% of the state population. Oshomole is from the minority Edo North, which comprise only about 15% of the state population, while the Edo Central, the Ishan group, have the remaining 25%. Among the Benin's, Oshomole's attempt to oust Obaseki, a Benin prince, was seen increasingly as an affront. This in part because the former governor had replaced a Benin chief Oyegun as APC chairman and had indeed dismantled the Igbenedion political dynasty in the name of ending godfatherism in the state. But now many reasoned he was making himself another godfather even as a minority. To assuage this sentiment, however, Oshomole was said to have approached businessman, investor, philanthropist with strong connections to Benin royal family, the current Oba of Benin, said to be his classmate to convince him to run for governor. Okunbo, however, was said to have declined asking the APC chairman to choose Iyamu in his stead, while promising to deploy his resources to help make the former SSG become governor. Oshomole consequently reached out to Iyamu and convinced him to join the APC. And although he is the last entrant into the ruling party and should ordinarily rank below other governorship hopefuls, including former Deputy Governor Pius Odubu, General Charles Ehige Ayavere, and Chris Ogewonyi, he has since emerged front-runner in the Shomole camp and supported, allegedly by Okunbo, is increasingly looking like the man who will possibly end Obaseki's reign as governor. Late last month, the Oshomole group conducted mock primary to determine who among them would be presented as consensus candidates. It, it ultimately ended in a deadlock, although Iyamu was said to have emerged winner. Across the state, Iyamu's popularity is growing, and although other aspirants are still pushing, is most likely to emerge the consensus candidate of the Oshomole camp and may well stop Obaseki, whose Abuja influence was affected by the death of Abba Kyari. Until his death last month, Kyari, a known adversary of Tinubu, was said to have been the key presidential figure behind Obaseki in Aso Rock and had been the one engineering the plot against Oshomole. Kyari, who was apparently opposed to the 2023 presidential ambition of Tinubu, Oshomole's political godfather of sorts, who had heavily influenced his emergence as APC chairman at the expense of Oyegun, was said to have been the key figure behind the plot to oust the APC chairman. His death therefore meant that Obaseki lost a strategic ally in the country's seat of power, and as and that loss could prove costly, with Oshomole having now survived the plot to remove him, and now backing Ezeyamu, who on his own is a strong political figure. Hmm. Can you see policies? Can you see what these people are just doing with our lives? They are just there with themselves. It's not for anything, it's just for them. If you just need to enter their cackles, and everything begins to flow among themselves. They don't have business with people. They don't have business. They just use we the masses to just achieve what they want to achieve. Once they get what they want to get, just like fulfilling unrighteousness, just to get the vote from people and just do the listening. After everything, they will discard the masses and all this kind of thing. They will just be playing here and there. They know what they are doing. So we've heard a story from this article from Obinna, Ezugu is the one who has really analyzed this whole thing. And I don't know whether you guys are going to be agreeing with what he said or if there's any difference, because a lot of people like, we like, oh, we are the son, we are the sons of the soil, we are the daughters of the soil, we know what is happening. You cannot tell us these are the things that happen, these are the things that did not happen. So that is just the way it is. And someone said, I want someone to list out Obaseki's infrastructural development in Edo State. Please, no sentiment, just facts. Thanks. Another says Oshomole does not mean well for the state by the teaming up with Agberos against development of the state, and he will eventually end up failing. How can a man of that office kick against a government that is working and be patronizing people he knows very well they will not work for the betterment of the state? People should resist this and stand for the truth in order for our state to move forward in development. Obina, shut up and stop writing rubbish. You can imagine someone is against what he has written. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning all of this. Leave your comments below and let's have your take. Thank you.